Okay, so today I'm going to be digging a hole to plant a tree. This might be put into a YouTube short. This might be put into the long form video. I don't know. But anyway, this is next to the cottonwood, which I cut down, which you can obviously see why I cut it down. It had major rot, which is never good, especially this close to the school building. So about 8 or 10 feet away from the cottonwood, I am digging the hole and I'm going to be planting the tree about here. I'm going to set you up on the cottonwood stump with the backing of something, maybe this tape measure, I don't know. But yeah, you'll be able to watch me dig the hole. So this hole right here is probably the type of hole that you'd usually see when you plant a tree that has a pot around this size. This is bad because a lot of this soil around here is actually still compact, usually. And that is a problem because the roots will love to develop in this area. It's obviously the least compact area. But why that's bad is because the roots will have a tough time expanding into here. So to mitigate that and to just aid the tree's roots in developing, there's standards saying you should dig this hole about 3 times the width of your tree. Sorry, the pot. Hopefully that makes sense, but that's just to keep the roots from only developing in this tiny little area, and it gives them a better time to expand. That's the major part of the hole done, and I've got to go really soon. Anyway, this hole's done. The swamp white oak's gonna go in there, and I will get to you once I am done with getting the swamp white oak. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so I'm back a couple days later. It's like 80 degrees outside. We got the hole and we got the tree, which is amazing. I got to do the radial trenching, but I might just do that after I get the tree in the ground, because while it is very important, it's not as important as getting the tree in the ground before my parents come to pick me up. So yeah, got to do that. Obviously beware of ticks. This is a nature area. So yeah, I got stakes, I got my shovels, I got the chicken wire, I got all the other stuff I need. Pretty sure I got the paracord in here, yeah. And yeah, so I'm just gonna go grab one more thing and I'll be back really soon. I got the thing to put the post in the ground. I'm gonna do that first thing. A post here, here, and here, because I need that to hold the cage and also to, you know, have paracord around the tree to keep it from moving in the wind while it establishes. So without further ado, I'm gonna get to planting. I'm gonna set you on the cottonwood stump like the other day. And yeah, so a very important thing when you plant a tree is taking this post off. If you think about it, when it goes into the ground, this post is in the same soil as the tree, so that when the tree is in the soil, this thing is not doing anything. It sways with the tree, so it's not doing anything to hold the tree up. And these ties up here, I don't know if you can see them. They're ties they put around the tree, around like this, you know, to keep the trunk from moving in the pot, and just to give the leader, if you can see it, something to grow on. However, when you put this tree in the ground and you leave these and the post, these can eventually grow around the tree and choke it, and eventually, obviously, killing it. So you really don't want that to happen. So you take this post out right away, and you take off the wire things that they use to attach it. So basically, just take it off like this. Hopefully you can see this. Yeah. So obviously the tree just moved, but also now you can see how you should plant the tree now, so that it's actually upright and not upright like this, because that's putting tension on the tree. You don't want tension on the tree. So yeah. Obviously you take off this tag too, because it can do the same, which is choking the tree, as I said just earlier. So yeah, right there. Tags off. So now that this is fully unattached, I can just take it out and chuck it away, because I don't need that anymore. Now that I got that done, I'm gonna get all my stuff together to do root work if I need to do it, which I'm suspecting I will need to do it. However, I want to limit it as much as possible. So give me a moment, I'll get all that stuff out and I'll get back to you once I get it. So I've got my tools. This is like a root thingy. It's not necessary, but it'll just help me get the girdling roots figured out. I got a pruner to prune out girdling roots if there are some. So yeah, and I would like to bring you guys closer just so that I can talk about root flare, but I can probably just pick up the tree and come and show you. But for now, actually, didn't I say I was gonna get the posts in first? I think I did. So let me move the tree and get those posts in. Actually, no, sorry, bad idea. Sorry. I am kind of exhausted from today. I've been doing a lot of stuff. Get the tree out of the pot first. That's the best idea. So to get the tree out of the pot, hit the sides, loosen up the soil. And carefully take the tree out. And then you can throw that aside. And actually a good idea first, tamp down the soil you're putting it on top of, and there. So now you can more thoroughly see what you're doing. And yeah, now I can get this top layer of soil off so I can get to the root flare, which is where the trunk turns into the roots. And do not worry, just because it has the name roots in it does not mean that it's actually part of the roots. You gotta make sure it's exposed. Otherwise, it can lead to rot, girdling roots, which choke the tree, or obviously, as I just said, rot, which can cause the base to rot away and then obviously die. So yeah, you do not want that to happen. I really wish I brought a knife, because that would be very useful. That's actually what you're supposed to do, is cut these side roots. But obviously I forgot it, because in my inexperience, I don't always know every single last thing that I'm doing. So kind of annoying. I do have a hatchet though. That'll probably do the trick. Just got to be very careful and clean it before I do anything. Okay, very messily cleaned, but like, it does the job. What more can you ask for? So you gotta cut these roots because they circle around here. It is not good. These can eventually turn into girdling roots. So you cut them before they can do that. And it also encourages more fibrous roots to develop around there. So yeah. Okay, now that that's done, I can tease those roots out. And yeah, that way I can get to the root flare better and just see everything I'm doing easier. I'm really trying to make sure that these roots go out in a radial pattern, basically like wheel spokes. They go out from the center. That's the best way I can describe it. It's very important so that the roots go where they need to go. And man, it's taking a bit to find this root. Okay, I need to cut one of these girdling roots, so I'll find one of my clippers wherever I put it. I am very disorganized right now, I'm sorry. I can just use this one. That's neem oil, not the right thing. Gotta keep digging to get this root flare as good as it can get. Okay, I'm going to have to show you this really soon because I'm getting to the actual root flare, not just the fake root flare. I'm just getting this all ready so that I make sure that it's all good, that I got it all the way I want it to be. Because some of these roots are just being tough and annoying. Okay, so I got the root flare all exposed. I am gonna have to right this tree up a little bit more by putting dirt under the root flare, but let me show you that. So you can see I had to remove a couple roots that were above where the root flare was. I will show you what the root flare is now. So do you see how this base gets really wide here? That is the root flare. You see these roots coming off of it? Those are also good. I'm leaving them because they go down just flat. Obviously on this side, there's less of those, but there are still some of those which come off and just like that. You can see right here, it's kind of lacking those, so I left this smaller one here. It will develop into a good root flare. So let me go to this side. This side is where the stake was, so there's not really any big old beautiful root flares like this. There's just these smaller ones which I will be gentle with, and hopefully these grow into roots. I wish I had something to cover these up. These are tiny little cuts, but this being an oak tree, it is oak wilt season, which is a very dangerous season for oaks. Oak wilt can kill trees like these, or more red oak groups. It can kill the red oak trees in 2 weeks. Luckily, swamp white oak. Well, swamp white oak and bur oak and white oak, those are all in the white oak group. They can handle it for a couple years, and they're also naturally resistant to oak wilt. However, it's still a very dangerous thing. You want to avoid it. I really wish I had something to cover these wounds up. I do not. It's not going to be the end of the world. It probably isn't going to amount to anything. I really just wish I could have avoided it entirely. So, yeah. So, as I said, I'm gonna put some soil under here to get it back upright. So, doing that right now. I'll lift the tree up, stomp that down a bit, make sure that it's standing upright. Standing upright from this side, standing upright from here, and what about this angle? Also standing upright, at least as upright as it can be. Thank goodness. Okay, so now comes one of the, we're really nearing the end here. I'm just breaking this up a little bit more so that I can get roots on this side to come out radially like it is on the other side. Ooh, that is a big root here, and it's just nice and circling. Well, that is not good. Let me look at that. I have to cut that because it's circling, which is not good because you don't want a circling root especially when it's the taproot. Hopefully if I cut it, it can develop a better taproot, but man, that's kind of, okay. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there's also these big roots here, which I'm gonna have to cut, but here's the major one that I have to cut. It's right here. I'm just gonna cut it where it first joins here. There, okay. And put it around the way that I originally found for it, which was not this, but something like that, except it's now leaning again. I don't want to leave these roots exposed to air for too long because that can lead them to die. Obviously the tree does have some responses to that. It can still survive, but it puts it under unnecessary stress. So what I'm going to do now is start backfilling this. Let me get the shovel, and you can clearly see the pile of soil that I dug. I would have very much liked to fill the hole with water before I started backfilling it. However, I do not have access to a hose right now, at least sadly, which is very obviously, as I said, sad and unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. I can still handle this. I'm just piling the soil back in to where it should be. This is very rich soil being in this nature area, so that is very good. And it's good that most of this soil is still nice and moist, so it is still good. I think I'm gonna fill up this bucket with this soil. It's out twice. Okay. Now just dump it. There you go. And again, this is just soil that I dug up just earlier on, it was either Wednesday, yeah, it was Wednesday. So, yeah, this is native soil, not that compost. Some people tell you to mix in compost, and while it is very beneficial, it's not always necessary, especially if you already have really rich soil. This just mixing it in. Also, sorry, I kind of missed this just a moment ago. When you do mix in like compost and stuff, you also mix in the native soil so that it gets used to those kinds of nutrients that are already here. Do not like just do it pure compost, because that creates an environment where the roots will only grow in the most nutrient rich soil, so that it will not expand into your yard and be very stable. They'll only grow in that nice nutrient rich environment, which is only maybe 2-3 feet wide. Not good, obviously. So yeah, getting this tree in here. Obviously you've been watching this whole time. So yeah, almost done. I hope you like that camera angle. I think it'll be cool, but we'll see. And usually you have mulch to put on top of this. I can go grab some. Of course, I'm getting called now when my hands are all full of stuff. I just got called, and apparently there's going to be a bit of difficulty getting it watered. I will make sure that it gets watered. I'm almost done with getting the soil back where it needs to be, and of course I just rubbed the bud off. The tree will be fine, but that's just something that you want to avoid. Anyway, I'm almost done with this. There's obviously some stuff in this soil that I'm putting back, but it is okay. And then I'm also gonna step on this to compact it afterward, because that's good just so that the roots are stable. I won't step on it too hard to where I break any roots, of course, but you step on it to compact it down. And then I gotta get the posts in, which won't take super long. As you can see, I definitely need more soil around the tree because that got very compacted. More soil around the tree. You know, I've been really wanting to plant this tree for so long, and I'm so blessed to be able to finally do that. So I'm just, guys, be thankful for a lot of things that you're able to do. I'm just saying, it's really nice just to step back for a moment, even in the middle of a ton of problems and annoyances, and just be grateful for what you have. Because there are people who do not have things that you just take for granted. And sometimes it's really hard to realize that, especially for me. I've been thinking about that a lot recently. I've been extremely blessed to even just care for this nature area. And I know a lot of people really just say it is a really good thing to do, but it's something that a lot of people talk about, but maybe fewer people do, if that makes any sense. But it just feels amazing. I've been working on this area for the past year, and I'm getting back to this stage where I'm planting trees and planting shrubs, and it just feels amazing. But I do not have a lot of money to keep doing that, which is very restrictive with all the stuff that I can do, obviously, which is kind of annoying, but I mean, what can you do? I'm thinking, I mean, this is just a personal thing. I've been thinking this can't obviously like do anything like outside, like on YouTube or something, but in person, I've been really thinking recently about doing a banana bread fundraiser, which would be really helpful for getting stuff for this area, like shrubs and trees that I need to replant because I've taken out so many non-native junks. So yeah, it's just a lot of thoughts that go into this. And yeah, and now I'm getting the remnants of the soil here in here now. It's gonna take a moment just to break it up, but yeah, this is just going on the edges now. And yeah, I gotta get those stakes in place. So I'm gonna move you back up. How long has this been going? 42 minutes. That is quite long. But yeah, gonna get these stakes in now. So yeah, ain't nothing to it but to do it. I'm almost done. I'm really happy about that. I've been really wanting to do this for so long. Okay. Very good. Now it's time for me to figure out how to get the paracord on there. It shouldn't take too long, but it will take a bit. I'm taking more than I think I need because that's probably gonna be just enough. And then I'm putting this here. And I'm gonna wrap it around this spot. And I'm leaving slack in this, as you can see, right here, so that the tree can sway in the wind. That is very beneficial for the tree. So yeah, it allows the roots to get shaken, but not so much so that they break, but it shakes them just enough so that it's like, yes, you need to be stronger. That's the best way I can put it. I honestly don't know if color choice for the cord matters. I hope that black's okay. I don't see why it wouldn't be, but I'm only saying this because, as you know, darker colors absorb heat faster. So, I don't know, it should be okay. This was the only color they had, but I mean, I don't think it does much to affect it. Uh-oh, my phone fell. Okay, there you guys go. Yeah, before you fell, I'm just working on that last post and I'm getting called again. Yeah, I don't know how much, but it will be getting water. Okay, this is generally enough when you plant a tree, but I want to be extra safe. This is in a nature area. So I got a bunch of chicken wire, which I will be wrapping around the T-posts so that this tree does not get eaten by deer in the fall. All right, guys, so as you can see, I got the tree planted right over there. This is a couple days later because I could not get a good outro because I really had to leave. But yeah, I'm glad that I got it planted. This was a hope of mine for so long. As you can see, I got good root flare, which is amazing. You always got to make sure that root flare is there. And you can see it's leafing out. I've been able to get him water for a bit, so that's good. We have a nice cloudy day today. It's still warm. Glad I got the cage around it, and it's all good. So hopefully you learned something about planting a tree from this video, and I hope that this is interesting. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe and have a great day, and God bless. And I have one more thing to ask before you go. My channel is still kind of small, so it would be nice to have more like support or whatever. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, check out some of my other videos, and you know, stay safe and have a great day. God bless, guys. Bye.